Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the Law Commission of India, and recently the 22nd Law Commission of India has been constituted. So let us first understand the timeline of the video. First we will be looking at the news, then about retired Justice Rituraj Awasthi, who has been appointed as the chairperson of the 22nd Law Commission. Then about the Law Commission of India, the first Law Commission, and the post-independence development about the Law Commission. Then the recently constituted 22nd Law Commission and the functions of the Law Commission. In the end, a prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies Paper 2, Polity section. See, from exam perspective, you should be able to know, and this becomes all the more important. The Law Commission of India and what are its functions, and who is heading the 22nd Law Commission of India. So let's get started and see the news. The news has been taken from the Indian Express and it reads, Centre constitutes 22nd Law Commission, and what role does this body play? So the central purpose of this video becomes the Law Commission, that what is Law Commission of India, what are its roles, who is heading it, when was the first Law Commission of India was constituted, or when was the first Independence India Law Commission was constituted. So let's see the news, that why is it in news. See, after 2.5 years, the 22nd Law Commission of India has been constituted. So recently the 22nd Law Commission has been constituted. So you need to know the number, that which is the Law Commission. So this is the 22nd Law Commission. And retired Justice Rituraj Awasthi is appointed as its chairperson, and apart from Rituraj Awasthi, that is the retired Justice of Karnataka High Court, there are other 5 members also, that is former Kerala High Court Judge Justice K.T. Shankaran, then M. Karunanidhi, and law professors Anand Paliwal, D.P. Verma and Raka Arya. So mainly knowing about these names, you can understand that the members of the Law Commission of India have a legal background. Now let us know about the retired Justice Rituraj Awasthi, who has been appointed as the chairperson of the 22nd Law Commission. So he is the former Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court, and he took over the Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court in October 2021. And this year, that is 2022 July, he retired from the post of Chief Justice of Karnataka High Court, and now in November he has been appointed as the chairperson of the 22nd Law Commission, and he also headed the bench which made headlines regarding the hijab row. So he headed the bench which upheld the state government's restriction on women and girls wearing the hijab in educational institution. The hijab issue made headlines. So he was the one who was heading the bench of Karnataka High Court. Now let's come to the most important topic, that is the Law Commission of India. So what kind of a body is the Law Commission of India? It is a constitutional body, statutory body, non-constitutional body, non-statutory body, or what kind of a body it is? And many a times you will see that this question has been asked by the UPSC. So Law Commission of India is neither a constitutional body and nor a statutory body. It is non-statutory body. Very, very important point from exam perspective. You need to know that what kind of a body is Law Commission of India. So Law Commission of India is a non-statutory body, and it has been constituted by a notification of the government. So it has been constituted by the notification of the government, and it is non-statutory in nature, and its major function is to work for legal reforms, that what legal reforms can be brought in the country, and it has a fixed tenure, and every time it is 3 years. This is not given in the constitution, but by convention the Law Commission of India has been constituted or has a tenure of 3 years. And it works as an advisory body. Advisory body means that the recommendations given by the Law Commission of India is not binding in nature. They are only advisory, and it is up to the government whether they want to take up the recommendations or not. and the Law Commission of India works under the Ministry of Law and Justice. Very important point. And on a reference made to it by the central government or suo motu. So, how can the Law Commission of India get to its work? Many a times it can also suo motu, that is by its own take up cases, and many a times the central government refers cases to the Law Commission of India. So, this is the most important slide, I would say, of this video. So, you need to know that Law Commission of India is an non-statutory body. Second, it is advisory in nature. Third, its tenure is for 3 years. And fourth, it comes under the Ministry of Law and Justice. Extremely important point. I am again saying from prelims exam, this becomes very important. Then let's talk about the first Law Commission. And when I say the first Law Commission, you have to keep in mind that this is not the first Law Commission of independent India. This is the overall first Law Commission. You need to be clear about this fact that there is first Law Commission of independent India and then there is first Law Commission overall. So, presently I am talking about the first Law Commission overall, not about the independent India, that I will be discussing in the coming slides. Then the first Law Commission. So, the first Law Commission was established in 1834, much before when India got independence, and this was under the Charter Act of 1833. So, the Charter Act of 1833 in itself is very important because many different things happened under the Charter Act of 1833. You can go and read about it also. Then the chairman of this Law Commission was Lord Macaulay. Extreme important point. This point, that who was the chairperson of the first Law Commission, that is Lord Macaulay. This is of utmost importance. You need to know that who was the chairperson of the first Law Commission, and many a times you will see this question. Then the first Law Commission recommended codification of the Penal Code and the Criminal Procedure Code. So, the first Law Commission holds a very important place for itself because first, it was the first Law Commission. Second, it was constituted much before independent India. Third, the chairperson of this first Law Commission was Lord Macaulay. And last and the foremost is it recommended codification of the Penal Code and the Criminal Procedure Code. Now, let's talk about the post-independence development that took place under the Law Commission. Then the first Law Commission of independent India. So, now I am talking about the first Law Commission of independent India. It means after 1947. And in the previous slide, we were talking about the overall first Law Commission. So, the first Law Commission of independent India formed in 1955. And the then Attorney General of India, Mr. M.C. Setalvad, was its chairman. So, the first Law Commission was formed in 1955 and who was the chairperson? It was Mr. M.C. Setalvad. And since the formation of first Law Commission of India in 1955, 21 more Law Commissions have been appointed, and recently the Law Commission which has been appointed is the 22nd Law Commission. So, till now 21 Law Commissions have been constituted. Now, let us talk about the 22nd Law Commission, that what was its journey, what has been its journey till the time it is formed or constituted. So, the 21st Law Commission, which was headed by former Supreme Court Judge, that is Justice B.S. Chauhan, it came to an end in 2018. So, why is it that the 21st Law Commission came to end in 2018 and the 22nd Law Commission is getting constituted in 2022? So, in 2020, what happened was the Union Cabinet approved constitution of 22nd Law Commission for a period of 3 years, but it could not be formed, even though the Union Cabinet gave its approval, but it could not be formed. That this happened in 2020. Then the petition was moved in the Supreme Court against the delay for constituting the 22nd Law Commission. So, this has been the journey, that in the 21st Law Commission got over in 2018. Then in 2020, Union government approved the constitution of 22nd Law Commission. Then there was a petition which moved in the Supreme Court regarding the delay of the 22nd Law Commission. Now let us talk about the functions of the Law Commission, that what functions does Law Commission performs. See, Law Commissions overall performs many functions, many different types of functions. So foremost being that it identifies laws which are no longer needed or relevant and that can be immediately repealed. Now that Law Commission deals with all the legal matters of the country, so Law Commission, it becomes the duty of the Law Commission, or the laws which are no more relevant, they need to repeal it. Then the Law Commission also examines the existing laws in the light of the DPSP, that is Directive Principles of State Policy. So it is the duty of the Law Commission to see whether the laws which are in place and they are following the DPSP or not. Then the Law Commission also suggests ways of improvement and reform in the legal matters, that what can be improved or what can be done to improve the things which are already in place. Then they can also give legislations as which might be necessary to implement the DPSP, and something which is not going on or not going on in the present context or in present scenario, then the Law Commission of India can also say that this needs to be done as this is in accordance with the Directive Principles of State Policy. And the Law Commission also attains the objectives which is set out in the preamble of the Constitution. So the preamble and the Constitution, the things which are given in it, or the Directive Principles of State Policy, it is the duty of the Law Commission to look into matters whether everything is going in accordance with the Constitution or with the preamble or with the DPSP. So all the legal matters of the country is what the Law Commission looks into when it comes to the overall term. Now in the end, let us come to a prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. And it says that consider the following statements regarding the Law Commission. First is, its recommendations are binding in nature. I've told you this one. Second, it works under the Ministry of Law and Justice. And third, it can take cases suo motu. We have discussed all 3 points. So you people tell me the answer in the comment section, and the codes are 1 and 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. Now let's come to the last aspect, which is the mains practice question, and it is a 10 marker question. I've given you a very straightforward. Try to do your answer writing practice by writing this. Talk about achievements of Law Commission of India. You need to tell about that what the Law Commission of India has done till now, what good things it has brought, and also talk about in the introduction part that what is Law Commission of India. And in the conclusion part also you can write about a positive aspect or a positive way forward. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.